Not ready to show it earlier.
Oh.
Yay, cat lap.
Cut.
So cute.
Kitty.
I will take that as a set that we're all ready.
All right. Who would like to remind us what happened last week?
Good. Good
Detective
question.
Detective shit happened last week for the most part.
So essentially, we got interviewed by the detective. Our favorite fire farted around as a cloud and was really freaking cool that I didn't know he could do the cloud stuff. So it's like, oh, that's getting into higher level stuff, Fire. You're kicking ass now. But I couldn't actually tell him that because he was busy farting around as a cloud. So uh, we went and got fitted for suits, and we talked to the detective a bunch, but I don't think anything really relevant came out of that.
Well, aside from the whole undercover thing.
Right. Then after the talks, he inquired about getting us to look into the artificer's friend who was doing something questionable, and we went and Pert set up the sting operation, and yeah, it turns out his friend's involved in at least some kind of a I don't know,
Underhanded bullshit.
cult, underhanded bullshit, gang, magic thing in a world where magic isn't common. So yeah, that's uncomfortable.
And we also just went in and kind of talked to Anik. And kind of made peace with them to a degree and just got some more information. And apparently the annex, is that the word you used for the leader of the city?
Yes.
Might want to hire us on to the city garden. We all think that's a really bad idea.
Pert doesn't.
Oh, Pert doesn't. Okay, the rest of us do. My question, Pert, is did you relay the information you learned inside to us as well? Like the conversation you heard?
I mean, I showed you the note, so yes, I would have shared the rest of the information as well.
It's like him talking about power and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
So, at the end of last session, Pert had come out of the tavern with the note that he stole that just had an address on it. And then the four of you that were in the alley saw this mysterious man leave the tavern, and then Gabriel showed up, and they said a few words and went their separate ways.
And we learned his name was Ezra, I think, right?
Ezra, yeah. So we pick up right in that alley. Pert had gone off to try to tail this Ezra fellow. And awesome. Gabriel has I think Pert's come back now and said that he's lost that man, and Gabriel had also walked away. So Pert, Griswin, Rail, and Amalus standing in a dark alley across from this bar. You see a couple of patrons exit, stumbling and leaning on each other, not noticing you in the slightest. What do you do?
I look at the rest of the thing. I don't think it would be wise if we investigate this ourselves. I think we just need to pass on the information. I think we step on far too many toes. If they ask us to help, that's one thing, but...
Should we do that tonight?
I would be more comfortable if we did it immediately, yes.
I feel like passing on the information and letting them action it as soon as possible is best. Yeah.
All right. We walk to the police station.
All right.
Pert
Almost on the other end of town.
that much distance, is it really worth trying to throw off any tails? Yes.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
Sure.
Okay. So you, knowing the streets relatively well, you lead the others down various back alleys and side streets, out into the main thoroughfares, to get lost in and amongst the people, to try to throw anybody that might be tailing you. And keeping a watchful eye out. Actually, you should make that a disadvantage because it's night.
And unfortunately, Perk doesn't have night vision.
He does not. Dean's not bad. You don't notice anybody tailing you that you can tell. That being said, it is hard to. Pardon me. It is hard to see faces right now, so you're not sure if some of these people in the main streets might be. It's hard to tell that they're all different people, but you're fairly confident that unless they're really good, nobody has tailed you. It takes probably it's going to take about a couple of hours to get to the guards' headquarters. Or there are city guards stationed throughout the city as another option.
I mean, I personally think we should go to the headquarters. What does everybody else think?
I think the
Keep
headquarters is, keep number of hands in the pot to minimum.
All right. So in the dead of night, you arrive at the guards' headquarters. There are a few lanterns lit on the outside, but other than that, like, you see a couple of flickering lights one of the windows, and that's it. Other than that, it looks pretty dark. There are 2 guards standing outside the building. And as you approach, they stand up a little straighter, hold their spears at attention.
Does anyone remember the name of the guard captain?
Yeah, but I don't think we should ask for the guard captain. If everybody else sort of hesitates, I'll just walk up and ask for the watch commander.
Yes, of course. And one of them runs off into the building. And after a few minutes, comes back with a older, like maybe mid-40s, red-haired man. And he nods at all of you, says, "How can I help you?"
We have some information that Captain Lindsay asked us to retrieve.
I see. The captain is not in at the moment, but I can pass along anything that you have for him.
Does he look disturbed by this fact, or just sort of?
Not in particular.
Okay.
I will turn to Pert. Pert, can you write up a quick letter detailing everything that we found?
And Pert will nod and go with the captain into a side room and quickly jot up that. The watch captain, and quickly jot up that letter expressing everything that we did and include the note with that.
All right. The watch commander takes the letter, nods, and says, "I will make sure that he receives this first thing in the morning." I'm sure whatever it is very important.
It is.
It
And
is.
thank you.
I would
Thank
stress.
you.
I would stress to you, watch captain, that if you see radicals in the city, there's a faction that may begin expressing the use of magic. We don't know what the source of this is, but it would be very dangerous to your men to go in unprepared to any unexpected emerging situations. The man was talking of an uprising, and the fact that he was able to use magic puts a ill ease, at least in my heart.
Let me get up my dice.
That's
Can have
comforting.
Have to have a conversation about what Asim are capable of with Pert at some point.
Okay. The two guards that were standing watch kind of look sideways at each other.
I said I went into a side room with the captain.
Oh, sorry. I thought that you came out with.
It's okay.
Ignore that bit then. The watch commander looks rather disturbed at this, and he says, "Thank you very much for that information. I will be sure to take it to heart."
I don't want any more of the guards' lives thrown away in unfortunate circumstances after the tragedy that happened a few days ago.
Neither do I.
Is there anything about his demeanor or anything that suggests that he is not going to do what he has said he's going to do?
Well, Pert just told me that he was in a different room with this guy.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay.
I mean, does Pert think he's serious?
He seems very serious.
Good. Okay. And Pert will thank the man and leave to rejoin the others. If the captain needs our assistance in further operations, we will be around for a few days more.
Be sure to let him know. Thank you. You've done the city a great service.
No more than it deserves. And he smiles a little bit and nods and mixes into the crowd of the others. Probably bends down to scratch Melis's jaw.
And who else came with you?
All right, Melis. Yeah, no, Melis was in the alley with the other people, so because we couldn't bring them into the bar with.
Oh,
Melis.
yes. This is true.
Anyways.
All right. The watch commander bids you adieu. Unless you have anything else you would like to accomplish here.
I don't.
I'm not even there.
I think we're heading back to the inn now.
Yeah.
Is Sai just in the inn?
Mm-hmm. Well, she was with Vania, but I think and Zoe just stayed at the inn.
Yeah. Zoe declined to come on your midnight escapades.
Hey,
And still
I'm back with
somewhere.
more advice. I know it's really, really hard right now.
Before we go back to the inn, it turns out Zoe's kidnapped, and Jamie's like, roll on the character, and I'm like, what?
But drink water and keep moving. Cause you got this.
Right, so the four of you head back to the inn. By the time you get back, it is the wee hours of the morning.
Jeez.
Is there anybody still around in the inn?
There is not. At least not that you can see.
Also, I don't know if you want to make this a point or not, but Ama sleeps with fire and he is not there.
Yeah.
I'm too tired to go find fire.
I'm sort of just standing in the common room or whatever. I look around. I'm like, I need a drink. And there doesn't seem to be a way to get a drink here, I assume.
There is by sort of where the front desk would be, there's like a bell hanging on the wall that you would ring if you need assistance, past sleeping hours.
Pert slips behind the bar, puts a gold coin down, and then starts pouring drinks.
Before Camille finishes his question, there are drinks sitting out for you on the bar.
Okay, then.
I grab my ale and go sit down.
Pert pours himself just a light wine, but joins sitting down on the bench at her side. After, of course, getting Camille what he wants. I don't know if anyone actually wants conversation or not, but Pert will sit there for probably 10 or 15 minutes, sipping his drink and thinking. And if no one says anything during that time, he will eventually wander off to bed. For, like a 3-hour nap, because holy shit.
Sometime after Bert wanders off is when we'll look over at Camille and... A lot of people call this city home.
Yep, they do.
What's your home like?
An island, beautiful in its own way. Black sand beaches. I don't know, I haven't been there in a long time. I don't like to think about it, really.
Are you running away from something?
Yes, no, both. Spent a lot of time in the last 5 years being very angry at what happened to me and my family. I'm at a point now where I have to put that anger behind me and focus on what I need to do.
What do you need to do?
Be better. Be true to my morals. He just kind of shrugs. I know you're angry with me. I know you're frustrated. And I don't begrudge you that at all.
Onyx seems really tired.
They are. Can you hang on 1 second, Rizwan? I just need to go get something from your room. I think I need to talk to you about something too. I just run upstairs, grab my pad, and come back downstairs real quick.
While you do that, is Amalus in bed? Or are you still downstairs?
I'm worried about fire. So, probably not in bed. Probably up on the roof.
Melis is sitting with you. He is sleeping. Because cat.
Mm-hmm. I'm petting Melis while keeping a lookout for fire.
Alright. You see a few citizens wandering through the streets. Few people skulking in the alleys. But you do not see fire.
Almost sad.
Alright. How long does Emma stay up there?
Probably all night, but he can probably trance up there too.
Okay. It is a very mild night. You get the sense it's going to be very hot tomorrow. So it's very comfortable. Just out in the open. While Emma is prancing up on the roof, waiting for fire to come back. Camille comes back downstairs with his pack.
As though the intervening 2 minutes never happened, Rizwan says, Is that what's waiting for you back home?
Which? What Anik has to deal with?
The expectations of an entire city?
An entire island nation, to a degree. Yes, it's... Our people are very religious. Partially due to nature, partially due to upbringing. We're also pragmatic to a degree. There is a very distinct differentiation between church and state. However, there is a lot of overlap. It's hard to say, but I haven't been home since I was invested with my powers, and I don't know how that's going to interact. I could go talk to the ambassador here tomorrow, but again, I don't know how that's going to play out, and part of it scares me because I don't want to be bogged down with paperwork and administrative bullshit. Because I'm needed to do things. I'm needed to be there to do something. I'm not a clerk. It's also been a very long time since there was, he uses a term in Celestial, sounds like Exarch. So it's, like I said, it's very complicated.
You were in the military for, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How long?
6 years?
Not long enough then. Let me share with you some wisdom that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
Leading people is a very different thing from leading soldiers. Most people that are in the military learn that there's no difference between people and soldiers after enough years, but probably didn't learn that in 6 years. You can order people around, sure. But that is ineffective in the long term. You have to win over the hearts of the people that you are leading. And they have to want to do what you say because they trust you. You can't just shout at them. Being right doesn't matter. Being convincing is what matters.
You just see him nodding his head.
It takes a long time to learn, but you should try the soft approach
Now,
first.
last week I had you write an essay about the
You
things that you
can't
liked the most.
unshout at someone.
You get the sense he's just letting you have your say. So
She kind of just stares at him for a minute, trying to see if what she is saying is sinking in.
it is.
Then, after a little while, she leans forward and she says, "And if you ever shout at me like that again, I will literally bite your head off and swallow it whole." And I think you know that I can.
Now, last week I had you write an essay
You're
about
right.
the things that you liked the most.
I get that sense from you. You know, you're a good person. And I want you to know that. And I want to show you something.
There's a slight snort at "you are a good person."
Take a seat.
She stands up from where she's been sitting, picks up a chair, and sits back down.
Fair. See him dig around in his pack for a moment, and he pulls something out and tosses it to you. And this is out of character. I'm not describing this thing because reasons.
It's a strange keepsake.
Those are my sisters.
It's a strange thing for a child to have.
No, She loved that thing. She carried it with her everywhere. She wanted me to take it with me when I went away, and I refused because she needed it more than I did. She called it her protector. She wanted more than anything to meet one day. I think she would very much like you to have that as a reminder that not everything is as it appears, and assumptions are not always 100% accurate. However, keep it the way it is. Don't let anyone meddle with it. If it's altered in any way, I'll be very mad.
She kind of looks down at it and regards it for a moment and says, I get the sense that this is more of a memento.
It's a reminder. And I want you to hold on to it for me until I ask for it back.
She narrows her eyes at you very suspiciously. Just roll a persuasion check.
Like I said, you're a good person.
Seem to be collecting mementos from the entire group.
Maybe it's Bruce's way of telling you that you matter.
Does she get the sense that you're just saying until you ask for it back, so she'll take it? Or does it seem like he will actually ask for it back at some point?
You get the sense that there would be a very specific reason for him to want it back, but there's no foreseeable, like he has no foreseeable reason why he would ever ask for it back. Like, if he were like leaving forever, he would want it back, kind of thing.
Okay. She doesn't put up any more of a fight then.
All right. Thank you.
It's late.
Yep. If I'm going to be speaking tomorrow, do me a favor. Keep an eye on the crowd.
Mm-hmm. 2 eyes, as often as I can spare them. And I will take whatever glasses are left and put them where I assume the dishes are supposed to go. Who
There's
knows
like
if
a
I get
little-
it right?
Yeah, there's like a little wooden box that you think might be like a place for dirty glasses.
This is where I put them.
We
Okay.
pay them enough that it doesn't matter.
I mean,
Pert
left
already
a
paid them.
Yeah, Pert left a platinum behind the counter, so
You said a gold.
You said
I
it all.
changed it to a platinum.
Oh my god.
Making friends wherever he goes.
Gonna single-handedly revitalize the economy of this entire city.
Yep.
Like 20 sessions in, Kurt saying, "Hey guys, can you borrow money?"
Can I assume that I either am still wearing or have nearby the cloak that I was wearing as we were out and about on our escapade?
Yeah.
I tuck away the thing that Camille handed to me. Actually, no, I wrap the thing that Camille handed me up inside my cloak. And as soon as I get back in the room, I stuff it in my bag.
Zoe, what are you doing?
At this point, Zoe is asleep, but the door is alarmed.
All right. About like 2:30 in the morning, her alarm spell goes off.
Zoe bolts awake, blinks, blinks, and then looks at Assume it was Rizwin entering, right?
Oh yes.
Rizwin! 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 I did it! 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 Oh, I'm tired.
She just stands there looking very confused.
Confused because you have a Zoe saying she did it, she did it, she did it, or the fact the alarm spell is going.
No, she's used to that.
I was gonna say, by now she should be used to that.
Also, I assume that it's just in Zoe's head, not waking
Yeah, I
up
think
the
it's
entire
just in
fucking
your
area.
head.
I thought it was for the. She could set who it sets off.
Yeah, she can, and she usually sets it so that Rizwin will trip it because she tries to keep Rizwin in bed.
Sure does.
Stockholmy like.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Something codependency.
It might have made her sleep a night or two. What did you do?
I sent some. Okay. So I was out with Vanya, and she found that the delivery person we found. I don't actually remember if Brisbane was around for this, but anyways.
I'm pretty sure she was.
Yes, you do remember Toby vaguely.
So we're going to go out for food, or we're going to go out for lunch, and then he was mentioning that there was a creature stuck in his up in the attic at his place. So he seems a little hyper and also asleep at the same time. And so I said, well, I could take care of it. So we went to his place and we got the keys and went up to the roof and we were looking, scrounging around, and there was this weird chicken thing that was not a chicken. So he shakes her head, still thinking it looked weird.
Not
And
that this comes to light at all, but Rizwin is picturing a turkey in her head.
it had beady eyes and red skins and had these little things at the top that were like wings, but not wings. She just shivers. But I could tell it wasn't from our plane because, it came through the portal. Her hands are wobbling back and forth as she speaks. She's very excited and asleep. and I managed to send it home.
That's good.
We don't have to kill them anymore. We can just send them home. We can make sure they're safe and we're safe and everybody is safe.
Is that something your friend, and she points at her head, showed you how to?
I guess so. I mean, they're the reason I can do everything, so yeah.
Wow, this is good news. I'm back.
So, honest question here: does Rizwan not look very excited by this?
After what you just said, she looks a little sad. Kind of like it sucks that we didn't have the ability to do this before, but she seems happy for you. It's like a yay, but also
Blu-ray.
Yeah, kind of thing. Like,
I don't. I just wish I could have been able to do it sooner, but I didn't know how. But I do now, so we don't have to kill them anymore. We can just send them home.
she smiles at you and then yawns and stuffs her cloak into her bag and says her goodnights.
So he looks over. Wait, why were you guys out so late?
I don't know. Something about Camille and cults. Ask him. You know how he gets.
I don't like bringing up cults around him. Makes me think of
Yeah.
bad times.
It's a fair point. I don't know. Spent most of the night in an alleyway.
Should have really stayed with us. We had fun.
Seems like the things we need to do are never the things that are fun to do.
But if you never spend any of the time doing the fun things, then you start to get the burnt out things. But anyways, we should go to bed. I think, was it an early morning ceremony or like
Oh, it was
noonish?
pretty early.
Like the actual ceremony is mid-morning, but you guys have to be there a little bit earlier.
Oh,
The real question is, do I take a point of exhaustion?
Roll me. Actually, everybody who is up late except for Amlis, because Amlis only needs 4 hours, can roll me a Constitution saving throw.
are we counting Zoe's waking up as being up late?
No.
You are not within 10 feet of me, Nibbles.
Okay.
I don't think it matters.
Nibbles
I
is
have
a
a
fighter.
+5 to my constitution. If I was in 10 feet of you, that would have been a 30.
Oh, fair enough.
Jesus. Yeah.
Pert's the weak one, and he went to bed first.
And also, are you guys sharing a room? Are you sharing a room with Camille?
Pert and I share a room.
I
Yeah.
guess,
So Pert would get the +5.
Yeah.
So y'all are.
We are a strong party.
You are used to late nights. All right, pee break.
Okay.
What about a Q break?
We'll have one of those later.
Tea break.
Aren't those the same break?
Q brick. Man, I did 300 squats last night at work just, because I was bored and tired and didn't really have anything important to do. Now my thighs are still chafing me like 12 hours later.
Oof.
Get you some
Maybe-
Bond.
Maybe starting with 300 was too many.
Oh no, I started with like 40, and I took like an hour in between each 100. So it's not that bad, but it's like every time I go to stand up or shift, my legs go, hey, we're slightly tired.
I more meant work it up over time, not over a couple hours.
I've been doing these squats for about 2-3 weeks now.
Continuously?
Okay, I am back.
Welcome back, Jamie. No, I started with like 20 at most because that's all I could manage. It's been growing over the last 3 weeks.
Okay, how's this?
Good so far.
Okay. Was I the only one that left?
I think so, but we could be wrong. I haven't heard from Fire/Quasta yet.
I'm here.
I
Boy,
think
no wonder I had so much trouble sleeping on Sunday nights with all of the goddamn tea I drink. Alright. Everybody ready to go?
I am.
Yep.
Ty?
Yeah, I don't leave.
Okay.
Well,
Off, I have to take like a 10-minute break.
Alright.
Wait,
so
do we have missed?
Do we? Yes.
I thought
Why would I leave?
it's
For
good to
tea.
always check just in case.
That's true. You may have been kidnapped by a wild derpsy.
That would be impressive.
Alright, morning dawns. And Amma, who is still sitting up on the roof with Malice, as you watch the sunrise, Fire still has not come back.
Mama said, "Where are you, Fire?"
Hey, Fire, where are you?
I will try to wake up very early.
Okay.
So because I have to go to this thing, and I will go directly to where we're supposed to be.
Alright, you were outside you were with the horses, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I grab all my things and cast polymorph.
Into?
A giant eagle.
Alright.
With I don't know, a shroom in the head.
Okay. Okay. So Fire, you also wake up as the sun starts to rise, and you're like, "Oh shit, I gotta go." So you grab all your stuff, polymorph into a giant eagle, and fly up over the river into the city. And from up above, it's very easy to spot the memorial gardens. It's like the one massive green space in this city. And as you fly there and land, you see like maybe 3 dozen people currently putting together like a wooden stage. And you get the sense that you're a little early.
Well, fuck. I didn't want to be late, and now I'm over it. Well, I have it for 1 hour, so I'll be fly around, see what's up, and when it's up, when it's down, I'll just stay in a roof or something away from people.
Okay.
And just wait. When I have prepared a locate object.
Okay.
So I will cast it in intervals to see if I get Amma in range. And when I find it, I go to there.
Okay. As you're sort of flying around, just waiting and passing time, the people that are putting together the stage, you see them like stop and point and just spend a little bit of time watching you until somebody yells at them to get back to work.
They say,
But everybody has noticed you and is watching you. If not all at once.
They kind of get me.
Yeah. Everybody else slowly wakes up with the morning light.
Oh, I missed those con saves.
So I've meant to say this, and you can say no to it, but Zoe did put a call.
You're
Zoe
promoting
did
a
what?
little.
Zoe put a wake up call in.
Oh, okay. Sure. So you and Rizwan hear a knock at your door.
It's probably angry.
Miss?
Nothing.
You hear another, more insistent knock. Miss?
Zoe does the bolt up. Yep, I'm awake. Yep, I'm awake. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Do you need breakfast?
Just the bathtub, please.
Of course. Right away, ma'am. Miss.
With that, Zoe gets up, goes and have a bath.
All right.
I think we all do the bath thing.
Mm-hmm. So everybody except Fire managed to obtain nice clothes, correct? And I guess Camille's just wearing armor.
Yeah, he's wearing armor with a blue and silver surcoat.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I believe everyone else got nice clothing.
Yeah.
Emma, do you eventually come down from the roof?
Yeah.
Okay. Emma shows up, still in the clothes that he was wearing last night.
Looks sad. It will change into the nice clothes.
Alright. Did you buy anything from Melis? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Purple.
Purple what?
Purple collar with spikes.
Meow.
Was that my meow or?
I think so.
You're right, it was.
Also a tiny top hat.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Donkey.
Yes.
I think by law all tiny top hats have to be chunky.
Alright, everybody bathes, gets changed into their nice clothes. Breakfast is waiting for you when you go downstairs. As fancy as ever.
What is everybody wearing?
What is everybody wearing?
What? Purple.
Very nice.
Probably some from tartan purple, but anyways.
A outfit like Pert's normal or previous picture, basically.
Like that, but red.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
with the smaller weapon at the back, not an entire freaking sword.
Very nice.
So you are wearing your armor, Kathanit?
Yes, you would need to peel him out of his armor over his dead body.
We know what Melis is wearing, but what about Emma?
I was wearing something green and silver. I don't know what exactly to look at because I hadn't looked for anything because I was distracted by artwork.
That's okay.
And we're missing
Boy,
Bert.
nobody is the same color as anybody else.
But what about uniforms?
We are in uniforms. The problem is we're all from different countries.
There. Did we got what Bert is wearing?
I thought I said yeah.
Yes, you did.
I missed it, sorry.
Hey, missed. How about that, but in green and silver?
Here.
Ew.
Two of
None
us are
of
wearing
us are.
similar colors. Silver.
None of us are in the same.
Mhm.
Well, for the most part, none of us are in the same era of clothing.
Yeah.
We're approximating as best we can from images on the internet, presumably. They,
Yes.
And our own headspaces.
yeah.
No,
So-
I was always looking for Edwardi and stuff.
So you're saying that Rizwing is kind of killing that dress?
Oh yeah,
Owning it?
very much so.
She kills
Probably
all
getting
things.
catcalled. And possibly killing people catcalling her.
Oh, I think she would.
Yeah, she has all of her daggers at hand.
All right. So the five of you and Melis, after finishing breakfast, make your way to the memorial gardens.
And I think all of us are kind of just either consciously or subconsciously giving fire their space, and we're just assuming they're going to show up.
Fire, as you're sort of flying around and perching and flying some more as an eagle, you see more and more people start to show up. There are quite a number of what's the term for like God, words are hard. There are a lot of people who are carrying corpses,
Oh,
from what you can tell.
Like pallbearers, I guess.
Yeah.
Pallbearers
The-
more formal, but like
The dead carts, right?
So,
Yeah, but like fancier than that. Each like there is what you can only assume to be a body, veiled, and there are four people, sort of one on each corner,
Yeah.
holding up. Yeah.
so wait, there are a bunch of them in the crowd, or kind of?
No, they're like lining up, almost like it's not like a parade, but a procession.
Okay.
And you can see them sort of lining up near the entrance to the catacombs.
Green.
A little bit. And by the time your spell runs out, you notice a group of 5 people and a very large black cat making their way towards the gardens.
Do we see fire as an eagle?
You see a very large flying thing, but it's kind of hard to see because the sun rises in the east and you're going east.
I'll wait until they get where they need to get, and then come to them. So I don't walk with them in the middle of crowd or something.
I mean, your spell won't last that long. Like,
If
you're
I
just
need,
at the end of it.
no. I will perch in a roof waiting, and when I need to, I will cast Cassius form again,
Okay.
and do the last bit with that.
All right. So as the other five reach the gardens, you see an attendant comes up to you and shows you like, okay, you're gonna stand. You're gonna stand over here. They've just like finished building the stage, and people are really starting to file in now.
I nod.
They show you where to stand, and you're standing on the stage. Melanora is also there, but right now it's just you and her.
I
Mhm.
will be keeping an eye out on everything for Captain Lindsay. Hopefully, just have a quick word with him before everything starts.
Mhm. Melanora smiles and says hi to the lot of you. Asks how you're doing. Fire, if you wanted to go rejoin the group now would be a good time.
Okay. Poof of clouds appear in the side, and poof, I'm here.
I'm a cling to you.
Hello. Oh wait. Oh. Anama.
I missed you.
Yeah, I miss you too. Sorry. So.
So now we wait.
Mm,
You look out at the crowd, which is slowly getting larger and larger.
I'm with my shroom pack, by the way.
What did you do with your shroom? Sorry.
I have my shroom pack with me.
Oh, okay.
I'm full traveling attire.
Yeah. As opposed to everybody else in the group who is dressed up very fancy.
Yes.
Fire looks rather out of place.
This is Fire's idea of fancy.
This is Fire's idea of I want to get out of the city.
Yes. More on that note.
I bought a second tiny top hat. I put it on Fire's head.
Oh!
So he goes over and pokes Fire a bunch of times to try and presentation him somewhat clean.
I hand Fire a comb for his beard.
Well, how do I do this? How do I...
Hold still.
Oh,
His beard and like shake off spores and like
my spores! I was saving them for later.
you can get more.
I'm going to assume at least one spider escaped from that beard.
Ugh.
Definitely, yeah.
And you see little branches of shroomy here and there, and kind of need to chew it off.
I give up. Okay, that's as best as I can do.
Goes back to goes over to Rizman and be like, "You look really nice in that, by the way."
You too. She smiles.
I have whispered to Amma, "Thank you for the hat, though."
Oh,
I hope that hat, just becomes part of his costume, or is like normal day-to-day wear.
Alright, and as the hours pass, and it is like an hour and a half before things actually get underway, more people file in. It gets very crowded in this square. A few more people filter up on stage. You do see Guard Captain Lindsay. And he comes over and says that he got the information that you managed to find last night and thanks you profusely for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure he did. That was all.
A couple other people come to stand up on stage that you don't recognize. And then the last of everyone, you see a human woman, very intricate robes, her hair pulled back in a long braid, stands up and addresses the crowd. And I'm not going to give the full entire speech because y'all don't need to listen to me monologue for 10 minutes. But as you're just sort of standing up there, listening to her talk, it's the dead of summer now, and even at this mid-morning time, it's not pleasant to be standing here in the heat and the beating sun. Some of you are feeling it a little more than others, Camille especially in full plate armor.
Chopping through it the only way a soldier can.
Yeah.
Zoe pops up a parasol.
Zoe has a little bit of shade. Melis actually goes and curls around Zoe's legs to try and get in the shade.
Wow, what a suck up.
Mm-hmm. And the annex eventually says, one of the heroes of the city would like to say a few words, and motions to Camille.
Okay, so I'll save your ears. I'm not going to project like I normally.
Yes.
Actually would, but imagine
Well,
projecting.
so Melanora is actually beside the annex and seems to be magically projecting her voice.
Okay.
And because there's a lot of people here.
How many would you say? We're talking in the thousands? Tens of thousands?
Maybe a couple 100,000.
Okay.
Not the whole city. The city's about 1 million people. But there's a lot of people here. As you take your place center stage, Camille, Melanora stands beside you and casts a small spell.
All right. People of Marielda, I lack the words to adequately express how deeply your losses affect us all. You have faced the unimaginable, have lost so much. Loved ones, mothers, fathers, children, siblings. Nothing could have prepared you for this. I know I certainly wasn't prepared for it when I lost my own family to the same people responsible for this devastation. It cuts deeply, and you feel like you will never be whole again, like your very soul was hollowed out. I get that. I lived it for the past 5 years. But you will heal. You will never truly forget, but you will move forward. And some of you are asking, how? How could I ever? The answer is through the love and support of others, from your neighbors, and from your community. It wasn't until recently that I found people I could trust and begin to accept as friends and loved ones again. And I still have my bad days. And all I can do in those times is learn to rely on those people and to accept that some things are bigger than myself and that I need their help. To them, I'm sorry for how hard I've been in the past. Thank you for being patient with me and letting me work through things in my own way. I ask you in the days to follow, come together, support each other. Don't let the worst parts of our natures take hold. Help out those in need, show compassion and charity wherever you can. Show it to the child who's lost their parents, the young mother who lost her spouse defending their family. Mourn together, grow together, and you will move forward together as a community. To the people who perpetrated this act of terror and cowardice, let this serve notice. You will be found, and you will be brought to justice. The authorities of this city will see you answer for your crimes. Too many children have suffered. Too many families have been broken. Too many have to grow up alone, or not at all. We won't let them ruin anyone else. Those of us who stand against you and the darkness and despair you bring will come for you, and we will stop you. You see him take a deep breath, pause for a second, as if thinking. Finally, I have heard rumblings in recent days about power. Power, whether it's the power of a politician, or of a merchant prince, or a clergyman, or the power that comes from a connection to the divine or through a connection to the weave of magic or some other place. That power comes with a price. Power is a burden, and it's not something to be entitled to or to be offered like a crust of bread to a starving man. It demands sacrifice. It demands that you take responsibility for your actions and inactions, and the realization that even with such great power, you are sometimes as helpless as the next person. It is the duty of those of us with that burden to help, to give of ourselves to help those we can. Power misused, misunderstood, or taken for granted turns inwards and corrupts. Power without compassion is the worst kind of evil there is, turning people into tyrants and worse. Be aware of this fact. Walk with your eyes open. Use whatever power you have, even if it's very little. It's the power to feed a homeless man, to pass laws that help the poor, to donate to a hospital, to hold your peers and yourself accountable to your own standards. Use that power to create a better place for you and your children and your children's children. May the gods watch over you all. And he steps back.
Make just a straight charisma check for me. All right. There is applause as you step back into your sort of slot in the group. And as you sort of take your previous place and turn around, you feel that same pull, this narrowing of vision, like the whole world slows to a crawl around you. And you can just feel this hair-raising presence. It's that same feeling that you had outside the bar last night.
Can I focus in on it at all?
Make a wisdom check. You are not sure where it's coming from.
Who am I standing beside?
I don't know. Who are you standing beside?
Well, ideally it would be someone who has perception, so maybe Pert or Analyst. I nudge Pert and tell him to look out in the crowd, see if he sees anyone. Maybe check windows.
Straight perception.
Yep.
Pert is apparently overwhelmed by the number of people in the room, or in the
Pert,
area.
Yeah, outside of the first, like, 2 rows of people, there's just so many, and they go back so far that you would have a very, very difficult time picking somebody out of the crowd.
I guess since he didn't do so hot in his wisdom check, he's just kind of almost tensing up, ready to leap into action. He's expecting something bad to happen.
Yeah, and after about 10 seconds, that feeling passes. And you sort of come back to the present as the annex is once again addressing the crowd. Today, We mourn our neighbors, our family, our friends, those who sacrificed their lives so that others might live. We will remember them and all the light they brought into our lives. We will grieve that they are no longer with us, and we will celebrate that they rest in the arms of Foltus and of Pelor. And she raises her hand, and you see past the crowd the procession of bodies that has been patiently waiting starts to move. All of these bodies shrouded in black fabric, carried by pallbearers, slowly make their way towards the catacombs. The first body you see is carried by 4 very decorated soldiers, and the fabric is decorated in you probably couldn't see that the fabric's decorated, but on the sort of litter that the body is on is a very big shield and a very big sword.
The NPC we didn't get to know.
NPC you didn't get to know. And with that, the crowd kind of starts to break. That seems to have been the signal that the speeches are over. And now people are turning to watch the procession. There is hundreds of people walking single file, carrying their dead towards the catacombs. And it's very somber and kind of beautiful at first. But soon this vision hits the brick wall of reality, and the procession has to pause when there's too many people that have gone below, and then it goes again, and then it stops again. And it goes and it stops, and it goes and it stops.
There's a lot of people that died.
Yeah. There are the people who are up on stage with you have. Some of them are sort of watching the procession, but others are talking amongst themselves. The speech portion is over, you gather, and as they sort of break off into groups, the annex comes up to you all.
Just out of curiosity, was any of the ambassadors there?
They would have been, yes.
Did I get an evil glare
Anik
from
is
the
all-
one from Carpamont?
Sorry?
Did I get an evil glare from the one at Carpamont?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was just wondering if I doubt they put 2 and 2 together yet. Haven't really met them.
Anik is also there. You see them talking to a couple of people that you don't know.
No Capria?
Caffriel is not there.
I see.
Make an intelligence check.
Two.
The annex comes up to all of you. She's wearing like all of these big fancy rings as she holds out a hand to sort of shake yours, Camille. Thank you so much for being here today. It means so much to the people of this city. That was a wonderful speech.
It was our pleasure.
Very rousing.
Just truthful words.
She shakes everybody's hand.
Well,
Except for, Mellis.
Sleep.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Yeah. After she has gone and said her thanks to all of you, She turns back to Camille. Says, now, this may not be the best place for it, but I would like to extend an offer to the group of you for permanent positions within the city guard as a sort of, as your own little unit. You would answer directly to the guard captain, be a sort of elite task force. Pays well. We could use people of your caliber to stick around in this city.
I kind of look around at everyone else and say, we all appreciate the offer, and where circumstances different, some or all of us may take you up on it, but unfortunately, I don't think it is wise for us to have such a position of power. It would be complicated.
My good sir, it's going to be complicated wherever you go.
Precisely my point. We have places we need to go.
Rizwan kind of pops over Camille's shoulder. Complicated for you as well.
Oh, I'm sure it would be. But some things can be worth the complications they bring. However, that is neither here nor there. I must admit I'm a little disappointed, but not terribly surprised. I suppose there's no competing with the call to adventure.
And Pert will step forward and offer a slight bow before speaking. Though I will not be able to take your offer up at this time, I hope in a year, 2 or 5's time, when my adventuring days are over, the offer might still exist.
Oh, of course. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but your family are doctors here, yes?
Correct.
I hope they've been keeping themselves healthy and well.
They are loaded with work, but they seem to be doing just fine handling the situation. I admire
good.
their constitution.
Yes, your people do have a lot to admire. The position, should you wish to take it at a later date, will still be open for you.
And Pert will again give the half bow and thank her.
Zoe whispers to herself, "Oh my God, would kill me."
Oh?
But would you say that's a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Good relation with your dad, I'm sorry.
I guess the question becomes, how to herself did Zoe say that? Like, under her breath, or?
Yes. Somebody heard it, she's gonna be looking shocked. So was that "oh" actually to her?
If Zoe said it under her breath, then Victoria probably wouldn't have heard it.
Okay. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
wait. Oh, what was that?
Now, despite the fact that you will be leaving us, I should hope that if we have need of your heroics in the future, we might be able to count on you once again to come to our rescue. If you're in the area, of course.
We go where we're needed.
So he says, Vanya should be able to reach me if need be.
I assume Melanora is able to as well.
Melanora nods and says, I'm sure we can find them if we need to. Victoria kind of claps her hands together and says, excellent. I will sleep much better knowing that the lot of you are, well, only a magic spell away. I have a gift for you. And she sort of reaches behind her cloak, pulls out a bag, and goes up to Zoe.
So he tilts her head to the side, and is it being held out to her, or
Yeah.
is it like for her to take, or for her to reach in?
For her to take.
So he takes the bag.
This is really the least we could do, although I'm afraid we're running a little low at the moment.
So he looks into the bag.
Told you'll find them useful. There are a handful of diamonds.
One say about $300 worth.
About
300 gold worth.
About 300 gold worth.
Oh, I guess I don't need to go shopping. Thank you very much.
You're
She
welcome,
says this
dear.
like utter. She knows what this means to her party.
She says, you're welcome, and kind of like pats you on the forehead, like she's going to pat you on the head, but doesn't want to touch the horns.
Horns come out of the side of her head.
Okay. She still pats you very gingerly on top of the head.
The most awkward head pat in the universe.
Sure is.
I think Zoe's glaring at this woman now.
She notices and very quickly kind of moves on. Will you be staying long?
Hell no.
What my friend means is we will be leaving soon.
Sorry.
Hmm. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay for as long as you're here, and please remember that you are always welcome in this city. And she leans in towards Camille a bit and says, sort of under her breath says, and as for the exploding head, I'm sure he had it coming.
He's kind of grimaces and gives the impression it's like,
She winks and walks away.
Insight?
Sure.
Hey, Cathan,
Yeah.
can I have my dice back?
No.
But me and Cathanet are sharing them.
Apparently.
Oh yeah. If that rolls bad, you want your dice back. I roll bad, you're happy not to have.
Because he wants the party face to roll well.
Oh, he is the party face.
Hmm.
When the player knows something, the character doesn't. Or suspects something.
Whisper to Mama, what head exploding?
I'm not sure.
We could have told Emma about it.
Emma was there.
Oh yeah, that. I explained to fire.
Oh, that asshole. Well, good riddance.
How goes?
Yeah. I want my dice back. Nibbles,
That's cool.
do something.
Sounds like an awesome choice.
Nibbles is the new Bob.
Fuck yeah.
Bob, do something. So, how long is this taking?
I'm assuming there was no pleasantries, blah 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 afterwards, right?
Yep.
Um, you are free to do as you wish.
What if lunch?
Sure.
I would like to assert that us having lunch looks kind of similar to that scene at the end of the Avengers where they're all piled into the shawarma restaurant.
Hey, Per.
Almost restaurant.
Yeah, Per, do you know a shawarma place?
No, but there's a Szechuan place over this way.
Sure.
So we do that.
All right, so you go have some dangerously spicy food.
Really finds this kind of weak considering she's resistant to fire.
Sorry, what do you say?
Not you.
No, but I didn't hear you.
Lily is resistant to hot food considering she's resistant to fire.
Ah.
Depending how suspect the food is, it could be necrotic damage.
At some
Oh,
point during the meal. So are we all still agreed then? South to Blackcaster.
I think so. I still think we should stick towards the mountains, see if we pick up any trail of that black ooze. But
Isn't direct to Blackcaster or the story and then
The main so there's a main road that goes south, and then it splits, and you would go east. Sorry, east to Blackcaster or west to Astoria.
yeah, but I'm asking the party. What we deciding then?
the idea was to go south to Astoria. Brisbane has a couple of personal matters to take care of, and we may not no longer be anywhere near the area again. And then Zoe wants to go back to Blackcaster, which is on the coast.
Sounds fair. I've never seen the coast.
It's like a really, really big salty lake.
I know what the ocean is.
Okay.
So shall we take 2 or 3 days rest before heading out?
Do we
Yeah,
have
so-
to?
If for no other reason than to make ourselves available should Captain Lindsay come up with something else for us to assist in.
Fire, do you need to spend some time outside the city?
Yes. Yes. I don't like it here.
Well, if you need to, then I would suggest maybe camping out nearby the horses, and we'll meet you there in 2 days if that's what you really need.
Okay, but you're doing dangerous stuff here? Do you need me?
We don't know. We might, but if your mental health needs it, by all means, take the.
No. If you guys need me, I'll stay. But
Oh.
I vote leaving early.
Lily pulls out her book, opens the page, holds out a pen to fire. Sign your name here. I can call you if we need you.
Zoe, he doesn't know how to write.
Yeah, he's red now.
One second.
He can sign it with an X.
As he's turning red, Rizwin grabs the pen and writes her name in. It says, I have something I need to do outside of the city as well. Would it be okay if I came with you? Fine.
Sure. Yeah, you need me. Yeah, cool.
Wife throws back her book. When that was easier to get Risman's signature than I thought it would be, and puts the book.
Does she actually say that?
Yes, because this one I was planning on doing that anyways.
Just looks very confused.
Pert, on the other hand, will actually go get a suit of studded leather armor made custom.
Okay. I'm just thinking about how long it would take to make a custom suit of studded leather armor.
A couple days.
I mean,
My
Yeah,
armor is
probably.
taking. My armor is taking a month and a half.
Yours
Yeah,
is
the-
special.
Yeah, yours is special.
whereas
Hey,
they
Jamie.
could literally take my current armor and stud it if that was what was necessary.
Hey, Jamie, can I ask if you up it a little more the noise gate? You're coming out a lot.
I actually
Okay.
asked her to turn it off because it was cutting off the beginning of the sentence.
I was gonna say, is there a fan in your room or something, Jamie?
There is not.
I'm assuming that Discord
I'm
is just.
Yeah,
touching
I'm also
the
kind
activation
of
level.
sitting back from my mic a bit. Ugh, there we go. I'm a little closer now. Yeah, Pert, you can get some studded leather armor made. Although, unless there's something special you want about it, like, you can find some pre-made.
All right, the normal 45 gold.
It would be a little more expensive, because weapons and armor here, as we established before, are more rare. So it'd be, I think, 55.
Then Pert will just round it up to a solid 60.
All right.
I'll just change that in my character sheet while we're talking.
All
Unless
right.
you want me to
Ah.
delay for a day or so.
It does take you probably a few hours of looking around at seeing what shops are open, but you know where you might be able to find it.
We finally found something that Pert can't just pay a single platinum for.
Yes.
Yeah.
I 6 platinum for it.
I mean, yes, technically he would be paying 6 platinum for it.
All right. So Pert is going off to shop. Sounds like Riswin and Fire are leaving the city to do stuff / just be out of the city. What about
Yes.
everybody else?
I don't have to do it now, but Rizwan does have one thing she wants to accomplish out there.
Outside or in?
Outside.
Okay. Emma, Zoe, Camille. Oops, fuck.
Unless something really reactive happens, Kamel's kind of just like he said his piece to Anik. I think they're on good terms.
Mhm.
Caffriel, unless he somehow bumps into Caffriel, he's not going to pursue the matter. Like, he's very much trying not to step on the toes of the police here in the city because it's
Right.
not his. Like, he's trying to walk the line between doing what is right and doing what is right. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe is gonna actively look for Caffrel.
Okay. Emma?
I want to go with Fire.
Okay. So, Fire, Emma, and Rizwin all head out from the city.
I think Fire wouldn't ask, but me would ask. Is Rizwin having problems with Amma being there?
No.
Okay.
I would also like to assert that Rizwan changes back into less obvious and more utilitarian clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Evening gowns don't make great countryside wear.
No. Especially not for what I have planned.
Amalus, the top hat that was on Melis has disappeared.
Please tell me Amalus then coughs up half a bow at some point, like a week from now.
He poops purple one day.
All right. So as the group splits up, I need pee break number 2.
Mhm.
Tea
All
break
right, let's
number
take
2
like
it
a
is.
let's take a proper break. Everybody take 5 minutes.
Sounds
Alrighty.
good. I still need to get water in my throat from speech.
Be right back.
I should turn off my truck.
And Owlbear's back.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that always make me think of the owl from Mr. Dressup? Only the Canadians would get that reference.
I don't remember him. I mean, I remember Mr. Dressup, but I don't remember much of the actual show. I was too young.
Jamie, you need to move that voice gate of yours.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
It's already like pretty low
Well, you need to go high.
or high, whatever. I'm at like -80. Or I just moved it up to -80.
See, the reason I
Your
asked
80 is low.
Yeah, you need like -50.
Oh, I need to. You want me to move it the other way so that you're hearing less stuff?
Yeah, we're getting back to noise.
Oh, my bad. I thought you guys meant to move it the other way.
No, that's what I was saying. I thought you had a fan on in your room because I keep hearing this little cut in buzz, cut out, cut in buzz, cut out.
My bad. I misunderstood.
It's okay.
I moved it the wrong way.
We're experimenting with new technology. It's always a thing.
Hello there. Does that make Jamie's Yon's name Zoe?
Yeah.
I know a secret.
Hmm.
That whole last paragraph I did in the speech, I wrote up last night at like 4 a.m.
I'm supposed to sleep at 4 a.m.
Couldn't sleep. Needed to get it out.
Yeah.
Or keep David company.
I also realize that it's 4 a.m. and I go back to read things in the morning. I get very verbose when I'm tired.
Just when you're tired.
Oh.
Boom, ching.
Shut up.
I had my chances on like 10% or something that Jamie would attack us on that speech.
I don't think Jimmy would be that mean to me.
Jamie
What?
would be that nice to David.
Yeah, I am not one of them, but I got a feeling some of this party needs some
Need some what?
combat.
I don't want you to know what I heard.
I heard
On it.
comma, so.
I
Combat.
heard something else that's shorter than comma. Yeah.
Yeah. Combat. And
I'm just like, what? That's no. No,
Moving
100%.
on.
Yes.
I would be kind of fed up on the too much RP, but David's game on Saturday has leveling up for me, so I have all my D&D needs covered.
Excellent. There will be combat, just.
I know.
We'll get there. Not at this exact moment.
We are faffing about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I think unless something is going to happen, we can kind of hand wave the next couple of days.
Well, there's a couple people that have a little bit of stuff to do, but other than that, yeah.
Mine
Is
will
everybody
not
here?
take long.
No, Mist left.
Rat
Don't
win.
believe.
All right. Let's do. Actually, before that, I'm just going to say that the guards do not call on you, Kameo, for the next 2 days. You do not hear hide nor hair. So if there's anything else you want to do,
He was just going to make himself, I guess, visible if anyone needed to talk to him.
all right.
Whether
Lots
it's
of
Catherine,
people.
whether it's Anik, what have
Lots of people stare at you. Many people come up to thank you and shake your hand. They try to give you things.
I politely refuse those things and say it's better given to people who need it.
But free meat.
I don't need meat. Look at me, I have enough meat as it is.
Also, you're not there.
Out of character. You and me are very different people.
Neat. Pert, you have your armor. Is there anything else you wanted to do while you're here?
At some point, he'll probably visit with his family, but I'm not gonna make a scene out of it. It's just one of those whole checking in, making sure they're okay, making sure they know about the money he donated into the bank in their name.
All right. Just make an insight check for me.
Sure thing.
You get the sense that your sister doesn't seem super happy that you're leaving.
And Pert's not actually happy to be leaving either. He sees the offer being made on the table, and he's really fucking tempted to just stay in town and be that special forces person. But there's a lot of the world he hasn't seen yet. And the PC also is like, oh, that would be a good spot for Pert's story to end. But no, there's so much of the world for him to see. So he's reluctant to go, but also excited.
Yeah, and she seems resigned to the fact that that's kind of who you are. Um, maybe slightly to your family's chagrin.
And
But
and he's jealous of her talent, so it's not like it's a one-sided thing.
yeah. But you managed to spend some time with your sister and with your father.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's about all I wanted to do. So that's nice.
All right. Zoe, you wanted to go try to find Cafriel.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Um,
play but something.
sorry.
Nothing. There might be something after that, but this is
Okay,
priority.
no problem. Make an investigation check.
It's rolling. I don't do that. That was going to take some time.
Yes. You cannot find him on the first day. Um, you do, however, find him on the second day. At work.
She check at work the first day, or does she feel like an idiot right now?
No, she checked at work the first day. He was not in. But he is in today.
Can she get a meeting with him?
Yeah. You are led up to his office. Whoops. By a hospital employee. They knock on the door, let you in, and as you enter, you see him with a what looks like piece of clay sitting on his desk, shaped in this like very simple, like sort of donut design. And he has his hands out to the side of it, and you see there is a ring on his finger that is glowing slightly.
Does this ring look familiar?
It sure does.
We will stay quiet while he's working till he takes a break or
You watch for maybe 30 seconds, and then the glow subsides, and nothing seems to have changed. And he looks kind of put out.
takes time to learn everything new.
It sure does.
In the back of her mind, thinks to herself, except when you cheat at magic. I just wanted to say sorry that we were unable to help that creature. But I wanted to let you know that I was able to find another one. Well, not of the same type, but clearly not of this dimension. And I'm able to send it home. I've learned from my failures and we're able to help them now.
He looks sort of. He looks surprised, and then he smiles. That's incredible.
I just wish I'd learned the magic sooner.
He puts a hand on your shoulder. wish I had magic too.
You do have magic. It's there on your finger.
Yeah, but it's not really mine.
It's not. We gave you the ring.
The ring is mine, but it's somebody else's magic. I'm just borrowing it.
I'll tell you the truth. So's mine.
Really?
And Zoe tells him how she got her magic, including the cave and all the awfulness beforehand. Though not worth. You know what? All the secrets.
All?
Well, yes, because he's already seen part of that secret.
Don't think Cathriel did. Anik did.
I'm pretty sure all three of them did.
All the secrets is a lot of secrets.
And yeah. Besides, Zoe doesn't know that.
You tell your story to Caphriel, and he is just sort of like has forgotten how to speak.
Zoe holds up her finger to her lips, doing the silent motion, being like, that's between you and me.
Of course.
We're going to make this world better. Just because we failed one time doesn't mean we're going to fail every time. And all we can do is keep making little steps forward.
Yes. Yes, I think you're right. Forgive me. I feel as though there are many things that I need to tell you as well. But I'm not sure I can tell you today.
Do you know Vanya? Vanya? She's a researcher at the library. She also
Yes.
writes really good books.
I believe I introduced you to her.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a very exciting time for me.
Yes.
I got a little starstruck. If you need anything from me, tell her. She will likely have a way to get in contact with me.
All right.
Or we can act as a relay if you need anything from anyone else I travel with.
Wait, does this mean you're leaving?
I think the plan is to leave tomorrow, if not then the day after.
All right. He's just kind of like got his head in his hand and is like going from staring at the desk to looking at you to staring at the desk.
I'm sure you're quite busy. But if you could take about 10 minutes off, I could show you some magic.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of want to see what's on top of the roof.
He looks a little bit nervous when you say that, but
I promise you, you will be safe. And if you get hurt, I can heal you.
well, that's somewhat comforting.
I'm not great at this comforting thing.
I think you're doing just fine.
Zoe offers him a hand,
And he takes it.
takes him outside, and casts fly on both of them. Because it's a 3rd level spell, and I can cast it on 2 people with a 4th level slot.
There is like half a second of panic on his face. As he just sort of naturally starts to float upward. But he gets a handle on it pretty quickly. And he will follow you wherever you go.
They're going to see what the roof of the cathedral is like.
All right. So you all, this is the, yeah, this you're going up to the roof of the Temple of Pelor.
Sure, this is just me being.
Okay, I just can't remember if this is the roof where the one of the portals was anchored. Yes.
Yes, and we couldn't
Okay.
get a way up or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. So you go up to fly up around the roof. If you look, you can find where a symbol was carved into the top of the spire, and there is a big slash through it.
How did they get up here? Do you know?
I don't. Maybe like this.
Well, I was more talking to slash this, not to plant it here, but
That's because a certain black dragon slashed it.
yeah, did we yell at her to go do that?
We sure did. Unless I'm misremembering it.
No, you're remembering correctly.
Which I am just realizing begs the question how the other one got broken. But I suppose that's a mystery for another day.
We never got set properly.
I mean, you're up here. You can go try to find where the other one would be.
Hi, yes, please.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, those are great for me.
Estimation.
Have advantage because Caffrey's helping you.
Yay! I brought help.
Hey, can you distract? Do you want to be distracted from work? Here, have work.
Yeah. 16. How long does fly last?
10 minutes. Or I think it's 10 minutes of flying, but let me double check.
10 minutes sounds right.
I think it's 10 minutes in the air, but you have longer.
Okay. I will say, if you, like, where is Zoe looking? Because she only has 10 minutes. Where does she start looking? Ty thinks really hard.
I was actually reading Fly.
Mm.
She knows roughly the angles, would look around to see what other surfaces would be about the same level, and
Okay.
would go over and have over there.
Given that this is the tallest spire on this building, the only thing that would be at that level would be the tallest spire on the Temple of Fultus.
Yeah,
And
over there.
Yeah, you fly over there, and sure enough, there is a symbol on the top of this, spire. It does not have a big slash through it, but with a 16, you take a close look at it, and it looks like it just was not carved properly.
That was lucky, she says as she picks up and flies back to the ground because she's worried about running out of time and doesn't want to fall.
Caffrey follows you. He's been pretty quiet throughout this whole thing.
Insight?
Sure.
Don't know if she'd actually have the information to be worried about that.
You can still make an insight.
If she does, she didn't get it from Rizwan.
Oh, that's just a 16.
Yeah. He's thinking real hard.
Have you ever seen carvings like this before?
No, I haven't. Magic's not really my thing. You said you're leaving tomorrow?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. We seem to keep extending out when we're leaving, but I do know it's soon.
Alright. I have something I want to give you. I don't have it with me, though. Where are you staying? I can have it delivered there by, the morning.
What is it called again? The silver teacup?
Silver
Silver
Swan.
Swan.
Silver Swan. Okay. She says where she's staying at the Silver Swan.
Alright. He nods. You've certainly given me a lot to think about.
Now, I have no idea how I got this lucky to have these powers, but I was told they're there to help others, and it seems like that's the exact thing you're trying to do as well. So,
Well, trying.
all we can do. And with that, she gives him a hug.
He hugs you back.
And Zoe continues to try and solve all her problems with hugs.
I mean, considering her success rate, she's doing pretty damn good.
Don't leave the city until you get it.
I will make them stay.
He kneels down so that he is at eye level with you. Thank you.
Can I ask you to do something for me?
Anything.
Don't let them forget that a dragon and a girl with horns helped save this city.
Okay.
Second hug, runs away.
Yeah. He hugs you back very fiercely. You have given me hope, Zoe.
I have done my job.
As you run away, he stays in that kneeling position, watching you go.
And the other thing I want to do is go show Vanny how to fly.
All
That
right.
can just Zoe
Yeah.
would instead.
You and Vanya go flying. Vanya is ecstatic. But she cannot learn the spell. It is slightly too advanced for her.
Zoe has outleveled Vanya.
Sure has.
Also, Zoe could not teach this to Vanny because one, it's not a ritual, and two, Zoe doesn't write things down in books that aren't ritual.
But you have a nice time flying with Vanya.
Figured if Vanya ever found out, she'd kill her.
All right. So before you leave the next morning, you receive a package. It is waiting for you at the front desk when you go down for breakfast. It is like it's a full wooden box that has been sealed with nails on all sides. And you open it up and it's full of packing material.
Wait, the gift is packing material?
Presumably it's in the packing material.
I assume this is. Man, definitely learn the environmentally friendly packaging.
And you sift through the packing material, and inside is a book. This is maybe the oldest book you have ever laid your hands on. The cover is basically falling apart. The leather is sort of worn and curling at the seams. The pages are brittle. There is no title on the cover. And opening it up, you see that it is written in Infernal.
Oh, that's useful. One, Zoe reads Infernal. Two, Zoe reads every language. I assume mending will not heal this book.
It will not. You are going to have to take very good care of it.
Oh, this is bad for a girl that goes into combat. Especially when her backup book carrying supply goes into more dangerous combat.
But you now have Caffriel's book.
As long as Zoe has time, she's going to try to read this book very carefully and in her room.
All right. I think just to sort of expedite things, we're gonna say that you guys are leaving today. So after Zoe has collected her book, you all leave the city and meet up with the rest of the crew.
Wait,
Yep.
didn't Rizwin want to do something before we leave?
Yes, I just wanted to get the one group done, and now I'm going to you guys.
Okay.
Rewind time 2 days. So Fire, Amma, and Melis, and Rizwin all leave the city. Rizwin, what did you want to do?
1 second, I'm finishing my notes.
Okay.
Okay. So I think probably the first day they're out there. They're just doing whatever Fire and Amelus want to do. I don't know, hanging out with the horses or whatever. Sometime on the second day, she'll go up to Fire and ask him, I've seen you turn into animals.
Oh, yeah.
Can you turn other people into animals?
I just got that idea, yes. For a limited time, though, not forever. What? Do you have something in mind? Do you want to be something?
Maybe something that can fly?
Sure. What's in your mind? Or do you want to leave it to me?
I don't think she would know. The player wants an eagle, though, please.
I know, Eagle. Poof, you're an eagle.
I guess the first question is, do you warn her that this expires in an hour?
I warn you that it's expired, that it's for a little time. I didn't say an hour. I think I would say it now, like, yeah. You have an hour.
Well,
Have fun.
when you said a little time, she would have asked you to specify. So.
Okay.
Okay. And then, as she's standing there in the sun, she kind of spreads her wings open and just sits there for a minute, like she's soaking it in, and then flies away for an hour.
Huh.
And that's it.
I mean, okay.
Make a perception check.
You know what? I will join you with Cassius form. I don't fly fast, but I'm in the air still.
Okay. She does not wait for you. She's zooming around.
Ah, no, I can't. Both are concentration.
Yeah.
That would be funny, though. Ugh.
Okay. You notice nothing when she comes back.
That was fun?
She just smiles.
Yeah, flying is fun. I just got that spell, but I don't know. I want to be able to do it more often, but I think I need a little more practice. And swimming is not just the same.
Yeah. Just never had done it before. Wanted to see what it was like.
It's fun, right? So, what do you want to do?
That's all I had planned. I guess, I don't know, do we want to go back into the city to meet them, or do we just wait for them to come here?
I think they would know to meet you outside.
Yeah,
Where your horses are.
I don't want to go to this city. So that was it? I thought you had, I don't know, plans for something. Okay.
Oh, that was it.
Fair enough. Wait, you said you haven't done this before.
Oh.
Okay. So you're not a dragon. I'm just checking my bingo card.
There's a bingo card. I was not aware.
More Eggman.
Rizwin is a bingo card.
All right. Do you guys do anything particular on the second day?
I think not. Amma, do you want to do anything?
Not that I can think of.
We just hang out, being outside, goof a little bit with wild shape and polymorph when I can.
Alright. So the second day passes, and then the rest of the group meets up with you. You collect your horses. They are all happy and well fed. Maybe a little too well fed. You have 2 pack horses, correct?
Yes.
No, we do not have 2.
We have 1 pack horse for the 5 of us. Fire has 2 pack horses to himself.
Yes.
Alright. So, unless there's any objections, I think you guys are heading out.
On the road again.
Yay!
You all mount up on your horses. Do you have to resummon Romeo, or has he been just
As long as
chilling?
he's summoned, he's around. It's if he dissipates, I have to resummon.
Okay.
As I
Or if I
recall,
unsummon him.
I was gonna say, as I recall, didn't Ramiel get the stable at the Silver Swan too?
I would have rode him out of the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
He kept the Silver Swan safe. All by himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good,
He's
not a
impressive
horse.
like that.
Alright. And you all leave the city of Marielda behind.
So, how's your horse? Oh, Muffin.
And down the road you travel, the city of Marielda shrinking in the distance at your backs.
Goodbye, Caesars.
Scissors.
Goodbye, scissors. You pass by a number of people on wagons, a couple of people walking. Twice in the day, a single horse and rider canter past you. The first night, it's all quiet. It's very hot, even now. You figure that with your horses, you've still got about a 7 days trip back to Astoria. What are you doing with your time while you take this trip?
I guess my question to Fire and Animal, since they're the ones who are most wildernessy, are you making an effort to like check trails and whatnot for like signs of the black ooze or anything like that? Because
I mean,
I'm
doesn't it doesn't hurt to have an eye out, but at the same time, I remember it to be very slippery and leaving no trace.
I meant more like animals infected by it, rather.
Yeah, I think if we find one, it would find us too.
Yeah. I guess the other question is, if we're going to Astoria, is there an urge for anyone to stop at the werewolf village?
I think we should stop in and say hi.
Doesn't hurt.
Before we fast forward to there, though, does Rizwin, or I guess anybody that doesn't use magic, understand how spell slots work?
In game or out of game?
Rizwin does not
Presumably
exist out
in-game.
of the game.
You are aware that your magically inclined party members can cast spells only so many times per day, and there's certain ones that are more powerful than others, and you can cast them fewer times.
Okay.
Some
so
magic is more exhausting than other magic.
for the entire trip until he tells her to fucking stop because she's getting annoying, Rizwin will bug Fire to let her fly around at the end of each day.
Secretly, or everyone sees it.
It's kind of hard to miss a giant fucking eagle. When they say giant eagle, they're not joking. These things are like 8 feet tall, I think.
Yeah, they're like
16-foot wings.
size.
No, they're bigger than any bird on this earth.
Oh, okay.
I mean, fire doesn't have any problem with doing it. At some point, he would ask, "Do you want to do something else, though?"
No. And I think at some point, anybody who bothers to notice will notice that she seems both really happy and really sad about it at the same time.
One of the days when I poof you and you fly away. Amma, do you think one can get addicted to fly?
Maybe.
And I'll say, probably by the end of the week, she calms down a little bit. Like, she still wants to do it every once in a while, but she's not like every night bugging you.
Well, I know that I have to have prepared polymorph for guess.
I think you see Kamel smirking at Rizwan a couple times. Like in a kind way, not like in a malicious or...
She either doesn't notice or is pointedly ignoring you.
After she leaves flying, I would say, let her be. I haven't seen her having actual fun since I don't know.
On the same page with you.
Since I don't know the drug episode, so good for her, I guess.
You're sweet. You're clueless, but you're sweet.
You know what's hilarious about that? She tried to fly when she got high too. Remember?
Oh yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
I just remembered that.
The only quote unquote problem is I plan to use polymorph on multiple pranks and I can't now because I have one shot at it. And I need to use it on her.
Womp womp.
Alright, that's it.
What about the rest of you?
So Zoe's probably trying to read the book.
All
Also
right.
sending probably daily notes back to Vanier, specifically about a flying Rizwan.
Okay. Make me an intelligence check.
Can we not?
All right. This book, like, despite the fact that you have comprehend languages and can read this, it is dense and full of jargon that you are unfamiliar with, and it's a slog.
It's in the same way one can read a text about quantum physics, understanding a text about quantum physics.
Yes. It is going to take some time for you to understand what's in here. I will give you a little bit more later. I was not quite prepared for you to get this quite yet.
Hi. Zoe's a magical girl. She cheats. Have you not figured this out yet, Jamie?
The hugs are the key.
So I will give you a little bit more later in private.
Okay.
But Zoe's gonna be chipping away at this for a while. Also, I want to remind you that you have a wand that you were making.
Yes, I forgot and remembered and then forgot and then remembered and then forgot.
Uh-huh.
Zoe's probably also working on the wand a bit each night.
All right.
I think Pert is probably scouting ahead and making sure we keep a good path going, since Fire and Amalus are distracted by their search for animals infected by the black goo.
All right. Make a perception check. All right. So you keep a very careful watch on the road. There is one point in the journey where, like, just as you guys are setting up camp, you like a group of people passes you by, and there's something about them that just strikes you as wrong. And they look at you, and they look at the rest of the group, and they look at each other, and they continue on.
Pert will tap Kamale, pull his hood up, and then go follow that group of strangers to figure out why they were so odd.
All right.
Dang it. Stop disappearing, bro.
So as everybody else sets up camp, Pert pieces out down the road.
Did anybody else see that tree on top of a horse?
No, I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it at all.
No. This book is weird.
Pert, as you sneak up behind them, get a little bit closer, you hear them talking like, "Oh, don't mess with those guys, man." Like, who wears plate armor anymore? And did you see that big ass cat? Like, no way, man.
Do I think they're bandits?
You get the sense that they might be bandits.
I mean, are we talking like 40 swords amongst 16 people?
There's 7 of them.
You get what I'm trying to imply, though. You know, there's way too many weapons for them to just be normal travelers.
Yes. And they definitely look a little rougher than most of the travelers that you've passed here. People on this road tend to be merchants
Then what?
or couriers.
Then what Pert's gonna do is he's just going to lighten their load a little bit.
All right.
Pert takes as many of their weapons, but nothing else, just their weapons, and just, you know, scatters them amongst the forest a mile or so away.
All right. I mean, you are in the plains. You're not in the forest yet.
Okay, well, scatters them in the long grasses a mile or so away.
All right. You're pretty sure, unless somebody's got knives in their boots, which they very well might do, but you take every other weapon they have without them noticing a thing.
And I mean,
May I
I'm not
suggest something,
leaving them
Pert, real quick?
defenseless, but yeah, I don't want them to be a walking problem for the city to deal with in the future.
Might I suggest something Pert would have knowledge of? If they have crossbows, cut the strings, because it takes forever to replace those.
See, but again, I don't want to leave them defenseless. This is, you know, semi-dangerous territory. So,
The plains, the forest is dangerous, but the plains are actually pretty safe.
all right, then I'll cut like 2/3 of the bowstrings. Not all of them.
All right. All right.
Oh, imagine loading one and snaps.
Yup.
Oof. You scatter their weapons, cut their bowstrings, and they continue to ride on, none the wiser.
And then I'll drift back to the party. And when Pert gets back, all he'll say to Kamale is, "Pretty sure those were bandits. They shouldn't be a problem for anyone."
Did you have fun?
It was fun. I like this cloak. I like that dragon. We need to find her again someday.
Maybe.
I also want to do a couple things.
Okay.
One, I have two shrooms that I don't know what they do. I will post their names. So I will take my time while writing or after a quick set camp every day to get to know each other.
Dark. Okay. Flat white, orangey. Oh boy.
I can leave that for later if you don't know it at this
Yeah,
moment.
it's gonna take me a while to remember. Like, I can't remember what the orange mushroom is. The dark red shroom, I don't think it necessarily has any special abilities. It is weirdly spicy.
Huh.
Like, kind of spicy in a bad way. Tastes like a pepper that's going off.
I'm not following.
It's going bad.
Well, it's not for eating. It's okay though. Another thing that I want to do, I want to experiment with Shroomy. Shrooby.
Shrubby?
Okay.
Yeah, Shrubby. Shrooby. Between Druidcraft and maybe powdering some good shrooms and using speak with plants to know what it likes. I want to kind of feed him well so he kind of grows.
Okay.
I have
Make
plant growth. I have spell that's called plant growth, but I think it's not what I want.
sure. What
I'm
would
not
this
trying
be?
to. I'm not trying to have a colossal in one day to another, but I have time. Hey, buddy, what to joke?
Yeah. What kind of check do you think this would be?
I would say nature.
Sure.
I'm not trying to be scientific about it. I'm trying to be what does he feels better.
Does Fire want some help?
I already did it. Decent. I don't. I wouldn't ask for anyone, but everyone can see what I'm doing. I'm not hiding.
Um, you like Shrubby doesn't necessarily know how to tell you the kind of soil it likes, so it's a bit of trial and error. But you
Yeah,
figure out that it likes more like acidic soil.
yeah. I'm doing. I'm not asking what is it like. It's like, what do you want better? Okay, that one. What do you like better?
Mhm.
Okay, that one.
Yeah. So you take some time, do some experiments to find a little uh, a few ways to help Shrubby grow a little bit better. You figure. Make a perception check.
Oh,
He does seem to have grown a little bit since you got him. Not a ton, but a little bit.
cool. Someday I'm gonna be old, and you're gonna protect my house or something. Why is that?
Don't worry about it.
Is
Okay.
it an actual role I need to record?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
What are you guys doing?
I guess that means I need to make a dex check.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're fine.
So we went flying?
Yeah.
Are you trying to carry Zoe in your talons?
Not at first.
She calms down a little bit after that.
You hear from the corner.
Was
So
that
we tried to join her on a flight by flying herself. Rizwan got annoyed by how slow Zoe was.
who grapple who?
tippy tap, doggy in the background.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
We did not throw up during flight.
But she also couldn't hang on.
But Rizwin manages to catch her before
Problems.
problems.
Not a problem. Zoe could just cast and fly again.
I look up in the sky and see all this, and I just shake my head, roll my eyes, and just start off down the road.
Do you want to fly too?
No.
I can turn you into a fart.
So we asked that horse, do you want to fly?
Not a horse looks at you like you're insane.
Alright. After about 5 days, you leave the plains and as you turn onto the road to the right that leads into the forest. Put us back here. Oh, the cows.
Wall of beef.
Oh,
My cow!
your cow's gone.
Always
God
maybe.
killed it.
And you are back in the forest on the road towards Astoria.
Yay, forest!
It's a little bit cooler, a little more humid in here. The first night in the forest, it rains. Then it rains and rains and rains.
We know parasols do not work that well on rain.
They do not. The sixth night that you spend camping, you figure that tomorrow you'll be in Astoria. Zoe, you finish your wand.
So he has a wand of prestidigitation.
Not quite. Almost.
We have a wand of that.
Purple dye.
You act like this is not just as good to Zoe.
So it is. So you know for the future, it is not just the spell that you cast, it is the way that you cast it that determines what kind of magic item you're going to get.
This is gonna take some time.
I.e., casting purple dye precipitation gave her a wand of purple dye, right?
Yeah. You made the stick purple.
Why would you want that? You already... I don't get it.
It's like
just practicing.
Yeah, it's like the first time someone makes a table. It's not the greatest table in the world, but it's a functional table.
I have never made a table.
Exactly.
Look, it not perfect system.
It's not a perfect system.
So Zoe thinks the perfect plan for this. Wait, 1 second. Zoe thinks the perfect plan for this is to give it to somebody later, and tuck the wand away.
Alright. I put that in the menagerie and I should have put it in your personal inventory.
I mean, looks like an awesome gift.
Exactly.
Like to a 7-year-old.
Exactly.
Alright, and with that complete, on the 7th day, traveling through the forest, finally you see the white spires of the city of Astoria over the tops of the trees. Walking out of the forest, you see the familiar city of Astoria. All of its tall white marble buildings, open architecture.
Yay, another city.
It's a much greener city, it looks like.
Yeah.
And a much calmer city, too.
Can we get a reminder about Asteria?
Astoria.
Can we get a reminder about Astoria?
What would you like a reminder of?
What's special about this city?
Well, it's a city. This is where, like, the white marble comes from. That tends to be so prized from the area. This was a city that was built by elves long ago. And there's still a fairly sizable elven population here.
Do we know an NPCs from here? And I don't mean someone that we just crossword, but no, an NPC. I know Rizwan does, but I don't know if everyone as a group.
I think just Rizwan.
I think most of the NPCs we know are in Averon.
Pert does.
Teacher.
Pert's master is here. Teacher, yes.
The calligraphy school that Pert went to is here.
It's more than calligraphy school, though. This was the...
Well, do you want us to wait outside, Rizwan?
The first time you ask that, she does not hear you. She looks kind of like a deer in the headlights.
Rizwan.
Oh, yeah. Probably
Good.
most of the day.
Do you want to be alone? Do you prefer us to wait here? Do you want to prefer us to wait 10 feet from you? Do you want us? I don't know.
I just
I
have
can.
somebody I need to talk to. I don't think she'd be thrilled if 7 people showed up stomping through her house.
Fair. Do you want a mouse going with you in your pocket?
No, thank you.
Do you want Shruki?
Pulls out her book, flips to Rizwan's page, and writes so only she can hear. Are you sure you're going to be okay by yourself? which Rizwan then hears in her head.
You get back, just no.
So he walks up and takes Rizwan's hand.
And then she squares her shoulders and walks off towards the city.
Do you want anyone else coming with you? I'm asking more out of character.
No, out of character, no.
Alright.
Alright. So the other 5 of you watch as Rizwan walks off towards the city gates.
That was Rizwan and Zoe.
Rizwan and Zoe, sorry. What are the other 4 of you going to do in the meantime?
I really don't have anything to do in the city, so I'm kind of just, I guess, we'll be over here with like a way station or whatever. I guess if we're not staying super long.
Does anyone know how to play charades?
Pert will go to check in with his master to find out whether or not their investigation went well.
Alright. Is Perk going by himself, or...?
He'll let the others know in case anyone's bored enough to come along.
I mean, kind of come along if you want, but actually, no, he doesn't want to leave the 2 foresty people alone.
Bert understands. He'll go by himself.
Okay. So, Emma, Fire, and Camille stay outside, presumably with all of the horses.
Yep.
Yes.
This is a slightly more horse-friendly city than Marielda is, but
What with being like a quarter of the population, I'm guessing, at best.
yeah, and still like almost the same size physically, so it's a lot more less densely populated. Pert, you walk with Rizwan and Zoe to the gate, and the 2 guards that are standing there just sort of give you a nod and let you pass. There's no like big sort of inspection like there is in Marielda. No questions. And Pert, you go off on your own to go talk to your old teacher, Revolt Moss. You arrive at his little house, knock on the door. There's no answer.
Does it look like people have been around, or does it look like he's been gone with the investigation for this whole time?
Make an investigation check. It's kind of hard to tell from the outside, but you get the sense that nobody, like, this place has been sort of locked down and has stayed that way for a while.
Then, if I went to the, what's it called? The school, essentially. It's not actually a school, but, you know, the guild. The Artisans Guild. There we go.
Yes.
Artisans Guild. Would there be anyone there I could inquire with?
Yes. You go to the Artisans Guild. Ask around. There's a few people that know who you are, remember you. And Revolt Moss left almost 2 months ago. He somehow or another came across a map of the Underdark.
Yeah, I gave him that.
And hired a few mercenaries, and against the advice of basically everybody, went off on his own little adventure and hasn't come back.
Oh.
I forgot about the underdeck.
That's what happens when you give an 800 or 900-year-old elf a map of the Underdark. He goes, "Ooh, I need to find out if this is real."
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming there's been no efforts to track them down.
In fact, there has. A few weeks ago, there was an expedition sent out by the City Watch to try to find them. And they also have not come back.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I will collect the information from the watch and bring that to Kamel's attention later on.
All right. Risman.
Hello.
You, uh-huh.
Yeah, we make our way through the city
Mm-hmm.
into the residential district, and I find the correct door and knock on it.
After about a minute, it opens up, and you see the familiar face of your old friend and commander, Chloe.
For Zoe's benefit, she is probably in her early 50s, I want to say?
Early 60s.
Early 60s.
She's like mostly gray now, human. And as she opens the door, she smiles and gives Brisman a hug. I told you to write.
She looks a little sheepish. It's been a whirlwind.
Well, if I couldn't get a letter, at least you can tell me about it now. I didn't expect to see you back so soon.
Well, we'll get to that. I'd assume that she lets her in at some point.
Yes.
As they're sitting down, she sort of turns around and goes, "This is..." And then she stops for a second, just now realizing that this is going to sound weird. It's Zoe, Chloe, Zoe.
Pleasure to meet you.
So he gives a little courtesy. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
I hope you've been keeping Brisman out of trouble.
Yeah, it's
Giggle.
the other way.
So, what have you been doing for the last 2 months?
Geez, remind me. Last time I was here was after we met Shelly and Shar, right?
Yes.
Okay. I fill her in on most of the details. I'm a little vague around Kamel just because I don't know if he would be comfortable with people finding out about that.
He
Okay.
wouldn't care.
But yeah, so we traveled to Marielda and went off to Alcuar to find this ring, got lost in the city for a while, went back to Marielda, got attacked by demons, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm. When you tell her the story of the demon attack, she looks very, very perturbed. Says, I heard about some sort of attack, but I didn't think that it was quite so bad.
There were many, many dead.
First us, now Marielda.
There's some dark force moving on this land.
Seems so.
I seem to keep finding myself in the thick of it.
Well, if it's any consolation, things are improving here. Although, not quickly. There's still the odd undead that shows up. It's scared a lot of the traders.
I didn't want to cut you off, but in the middle of that sentence,
Mm-hmm.
Rizwan just kind of blurts out, "We've known each other for 30 years."
We have. Yes.
And she reaches out her hand towards her.
Chloe takes it.
She kind of turns it over, very obviously noting the difference between the two.
Mm-hmm. Her hand is getting pretty wrinkled now.
You're not an idiot. I can only assume that you decided to leave me to my own business.
There are many beings in this world that live a little longer.
She clears her throat. Can I show you something?
Of course.
Usually helpful.
Probably best to show you in the forest.
She looks a little concerned. All right.
And I don't assume it will take an hour or two to get to safe distance.
Yes.
She finds a spot, probably near a pond or something, I don't know. Sort of grabs her shoulders like, stand here. Backs up. I don't know, 15, 20 feet. And she says, "This is who I am." And transforms.
And she just stares, mouth open.
Do you think that this is an appropriate time for me to put the artwork into Discord?
Yeah.
We get to see?
Yeah.
The players get to see.
Players get to see.
Hey, what are we getting to see?
Yeah.
It'll become readily apparent.
This is the two of them together for a size compare.
Aha!
She's a baby
Now
dragon.
now standing in front of Chloe is a red dragon.
With a awkwardly broken left wing.
Yes.
Chloe walks up behind Chloe and just gently touches her on the back. Okay.
This is a joke, right?
No. And she takes a couple steps back.
Chloe almost like unconsciously reaches her hand out, like to touch you.
takes a minute or two, but I guess she eventually gets there.
Okay. And when she feels hard scales under her hand, she kind of like very quickly pulls her hand away and goes, "Oh, I need a minute."
I will switch back.
She turns around and just like squats on the ground and is just kind of like holding her head in her hands, like, "Oh my goodness."
The oh my god, my worldview is now upside down.
Uh-huh.
Go.
Uh, okay. Okay. And just sort of stays there for like a minute or two.
Rizun is keeping her distance.
Mm-hmm. And after a bit, she stands up, sort of smooths out her clothes and her hair, and turns around to face you. You're a dragon.
Well, sometimes.
Whereas when you're always a dragon, you just don't always show it.
Well, sometimes the face you wear more becomes the real.
She walks up to you. You're in human form now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised, or I'm kind of impressed that you kept this under wraps for 30 years. Sorry, this is just... I was not expecting this when I woke up this morning.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It is.
Well, I got some advice recently to be more open with the people I care about. And, well, in a very literal sense, I have known you for most of my life. I was born about 5 years before we met.
Oh.
So, I figured if anybody I was going to show wouldn't immediately kill me, it might be you.
She takes your hands and kind of like feels them for a second, and then very gingerly touches your shoulders and wraps you in a hug.
When she first reaches out to my hands, there's like a flinch. And then assumed that she's been breathing this whole time, but it's like she starts breathing again once she.
Yeah. Thank you for telling me.
I don't think she's very capable of talking at the moment.
Chloe pulls back and kind of laughs a bit and says, "So I guess not all red dragons are crazy evil monsters?"
Personally, everyone I've met is really nice.
You've met one.
And
the
how
rest
does
of
that?
her family definitely falls into that category. Thankfully,
How does that change what you just said?
most of them are dead.
Chloe holds your hands again. Forgive. Takes a little bit of time to process.
About that, how would you recommend making that easier for people? Maybe just words first?
Yeah, maybe. At least maybe warn them that you're going to transform into something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time of the day is it at this point?
Like noon.
Yeah, okay. Well, do you want to head back?
Yeah. Yeah, let's head back. I could use a drink.
Okay. I would say they'd spend most of the rest of the day together unless there is some pressing reason not to.
On your way back, she seems lost in thought, and she kind of laughs and says, Boy, this really derailed my, train of thought. Are you going to be sticking around for a while?
Well, I don't think so. I really only came here to see you. One of my friends is also wanting to go back home.
I see.
Did you need something?
I'm not sure. You seem... You seem to be very capable at adventuring, I guess.
It's not so different from soldiering, and I learned soldiering from the best.
Well, thank you. I still hear things from some of the soldiers. And a little while ago, they sent a small team after some idiot scholar that found a passage into the Underdark or something, and they haven't come back. Malir was leading them.
Narrow eyes, like. He's become a symbol in the city, hasn't he?
Well, he hasn't really had the time to. I'm worried, Rizwan.
Is the Underdark ringing any bells in my head?
You can make a wisdom check. When you were at the Temple of Shar, the one where you found the mimic and...
Sorry, to clarify, I, the player, know. I'm just wondering if Rizwan is putting it together. Because I don't think that's the kind of thing she would pay attention.
I think with an 11, she would kind of put it together because... Didn't you find... I think you found a staircase that went down and down and down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Pert was like, oh, this must go to the Underdark.
Okay.
You knew he had that map, too.
This sounds like something related to us, actually.
Does it now?
When we were running around trying to prevent that army that attacked Ithiel, we found a passage to the Underdark, or at least we assumed it was such, in the ruins of, I think it was the temple?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dear.
I can't speak for the other 6, but I will try to convince them that we should check it out.
I'm sure you all have many important things to do, but if you wouldn't mind doing me this favor.
The only person in the world that could convince me to go running into the Underdark after that prat. Did he ever grow up at all?
He's getting there.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I get something for my sanity, like, to understand?
Sure.
You're saying that you know the master of Pert, or the one leading the guards?
The one leading the guards.
Okay.
Thank you, Rizwan. I would offer to come with you, but I have a feeling that I would just slow you down.
put a hand on one of her hands, like, I don't want to agree with you, but you're also not wrong.
Yeah. I'm slowly coming to terms with this. And she holds up her much more wrinkled hand. Getting old sucks.
Yeah, I've in a much less personal way been wrestling with that same thing.
Well, you don't have to go today. Tea?
That would be lovely.
So you spend the rest of the day, or however long you want, with Chloe and Zoe, drinking tea, trading stories. And you do notice over time she seems to get a little less tense. She seems to be coming to terms with what you have just revealed to her.
And I would say, unless she kicks us out beforehand, we probably stay there until, you know, the polite time for people to leave so people can go to bed.
All right.
At some point, Zoe will, maybe when she's out getting tea or something, Zoe will ask Riswin, would you like me to put her name in my book so you can pass messages to her?
Does Rizwan understand that there is a limited number of names that can go in that book?
Nope, and she's not gonna pass that on.
Then yes.
Aww.
Zoe will explain the book and how it works to Chloe
Mm-hmm.
and ask if she'd like to put her name in it so Zoe can pass messages from Riswin to her.
All right. You get the sense that Chloe might not completely understand what's going on. It's like, okay, it's magic. I'm sure it's magic. It's Risbon's friend. I'm sure it's fine. But she puts her name in your book.
God, if Zoe was actually evil, she could get so many souls this way.
Good thing that's not how that book works.
Yes, but everybody just believed her. This is how it worked.
It probably also didn't hurt that Rizwan's name is in the book too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like you can read it after you sign it. So,
All right.
so we put Chloe's page and writes out a short message. This is how this works. So it passes through.
She sits up a little straighter. Oh. Oh, that's very neat.
Now just think of a short message and it should come back to me.
And written on the book appears, think of a short message.
Yes, exactly like that.
Huh.
Here's one trying to look at the book.
I mean, she's not like actively, but she'd be observing the process, I guess.
I'm more wondering if Rizwan would be like, ooh. But if she does take a peek, she cannot read the page.
That's pretty impressive. Although maybe not as impressive as being a dragon.
Working on it. I can fly now.
Alright, so you stay until it's starting to get a little darker outside. And she has no problem shooing you away, saying, if I have to get to bed, so should you.
We say our goodbyes, probably a hug,
Mm-hmm.
and go back to wherever we left.
Yeah.
Amulet and Fire.
Yes. Pert, you did not take that long. You joined the rest of your group far before Zoe and Rosamund do.
Then I would have told them about the disappearance of both a set of the watch and the professor and his mercenaries. And Pert's at least trying to make it clear that he feels guilty because we were offered this job.
Probably on the way back as well, Rizwan would ask Zoe if she's okay with delaying returning to Blackcaster for a little while.
It's fine. As long as we get there at some point.
Alright, so the six of you reunite
No.
as the sun is starting to set.
Rizwan also blurts out the story. I don't know. There's maybe some comedic moment where they're telling the same story over top each other or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Providence provides. I say we investigate.
At some point, I walk to Kamel and say, "Hey, I found this. Can I keep it?" And I have a Mela-sized ant. Follow me home.
You know what, Fire? As long as you're feeding it and you keep it out of my bedroll, you do you.
The horses are getting a bit nervous about it, though.
You're.
I would ask that you check maybe with the horses and see how they feel about it.
You know what, Kamel?
Yes, Fire.
2 months ago, I don't know how long have we been met out of character.
It's been about 2.5, 3 months.
Yeah,
90
2 months.
days, is that right?
No, it is
No.
not. That is 90 days minus like 2 weeks. Hold on, let me get it. So the first day was the day that she retired.
Right.
We got to the mill on the 17th day, and it is now the 101st day.
So three months ago, if I would say that to you, you would yell at me, and you would be angry for the rest of the day. You have been. You've been impatient. And I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I poof the ant and go away.
Just raises an eyebrow. It's like, okay.
Pass the test. Alright.
And I guess at some point I just look at Rose and I just raise my eyebrows like, you good?
That gift from How to Train Your Dragon with the thumbs up.
Alright, where are you staying for the night?
Well, I don't know how this lines up, but we had said also that we wanted to check in at the village that starts with A.
Yeah. Ever.
Which is kind
It's
of
a-
near where we're going anyway, aren't we?
Sort of. It's a little far to go tonight.
Why don't we get an inn and have a fresh start in the morning?
Sure.
We one near the outskirts of the city so fire doesn't go insane. Insane.
You're not sure you also want an inn so you don't eat soup of mushroom again?
Also that. No offense, fire, but there's only so many mushrooms one person can eat in a lifetime, and I've had my fill.
It's okay to be wrong.
You're right, it is okay to be wrong.
Alright. So the lot of you go back into the city to try and find an inn to sleep. And I think that's what we're gonna call it today.
Reasonable.
That was neat.
That was a lot.
To make.
Wait, 2 people. One
I
first.
have a tweet to make.
You do.
A tweet?
Just tweet out the photo and then with the picture.
Ah.
Mm.
Ah, yes.
Is it you tweeting out, or you tweeting out that somebody else can actually tweet it out?
Porque no los dos.
You did not level.
Dang it. I need a level. I need another page in my book
What?
now.
But you, discovered unresolved plot threads.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Plot threads that totally haven't come back and bite us.
Definitely not. Not yet, anyways.
I'm sure those, we're getting to the plot threads we left behind in the first arc. In another 6
Uh-huh.
months, we'll hit the other plot threads we left in Marialda.
Yeah.
And I'm
If
just
we
waiting
just
for
end up
Rosewood to-
walking in a big circle between these 2 cities for the next 2 years, I'm gonna laugh.
We're going on a boat at some point.
You're going on a boat at some point.
Yeah, we need to get to Wi-Fi Island.
Oh right, you guys all walk so slowly. I guess I
It
have
is
to
now.
let you
It's
go.
now going to be called Whiffy Island.
Jeez.
Do we?
The island of Wiffies.
We gotta save the bees on the Wi-Fi Island.
Please tell me there's a wiffle ball on Wi-Fi Island.
Yeah, there might be.
Ooh, and the people who rule it are like 5 lords, and they call the 5G.
Yeah, no, we're not doing.
The 5 gentlemen.
Can we avoid 5G jokes right now, especially if it's causing problem?
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Also, Wi-Fi and 5G are 2 different technologies. Rumble code.
Well, it's King Cisco then.
I'm acceptable with this.
I'm just imagining Avery Brooks being King Cisco. That's a Star Trek reference.
Oh, what's this ship going to be called? The Defiant?
I hope so.
That's a really good ship name.
It's a little but powerful ship. And then
So-
the commander, who's an orc, yells out, little.
I wonder what would happen if I had rolled a higher wisdom. God damn it, maybe some more.
So, the secret's out.
Well, the secret's out to some fire
Yep.
and analysts and Perk don't know.
Did you know?
Oh, I knew.
Ah,
Together last arc.
I just
I
ruled out.
say, I put it together a year ago. Kamel put it together last arc.
I just ruled out dragon.
Yeah, and we were laughing about that in PMs.
Yeah. I believe I DM Nibble saying I'm hyperventilating laughing.
Is now a good time to remind Quasta,
The what?
what are you getting made, Marielda?
You're getting Rizwin scale armor.
Mm-hmm.
No, because it's a hydra. It's not a dragon. It's
They're
different.
red scales. They're
The Hydra was green.
They pulled a
Bruce-
switcheroo on you.
What?
The scales
Yes.
changed color to red, remember?
Yeah.
They didn't change color. Who skinned the Hydra?
I did.
No, you
No,
didn't.
you didn't.
A little girl with horns skinned the Hydra along with a red woman.
No, a little girl in horns skinned a red dragon. Was not happy about it.
I mean, skinning is a strong word for what-
Scaling it. Scale the.
Descaling.
Yeah, but I remember I did the dirty work on the Hydra, and then they changed. I guess one day to the other, and it was like, oh no.
So Fire did, like, they specifically said that they were getting the scales for this. Like, this was the plan all along. But Fire did all of the internal harvesting.
And we walked around to the back and was like, yeah, we'll get some scales for you. And then I pulled out the sack that I had already prepared and handed it to Zoe, and Zoe handed it to you.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did it beforehand.
Congratulations, Fire. You're wearing the armor of a friend.
You're getting dragon scale armor.
I will understand. The only idea that I get into on the why is because I suppose it's more powerful, and you knew that and want to help. Otherwise, why?
It was already in action
No.
before we got the Hydra.
Fire actually, at some point when we were traveling, had complained out loud about having weak armor, so Rizwin decided to do something about it.
Also, Rizwin is subtly trying to drop hints that they're more than human and has been for a while.
Unconsciously, probably. Yeah.
Unconsciously, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that part didn't have a problem with it. I seriously thought you were a salamander.
On the other
I know.
hand, I have to say, for a second there, I misunderstood what you were talking about when you said what are you getting made back in Marielda, and I thought you were talking about your campaign nibbles, and I'm going, oh no, is the dead dragon we found her?
What dead dragon did you find?
Unless you're talking about time travel, no.
Yes, exactly. That's why I went through a
Yeah.
fucking whole thing in my head going, the
Oh.
fuck are you talking about
No.
here?
Oh.
So
What red dragon did you find?
The mountain?
Or dead dragon?
The one that was the head that was buried in the.
that was a fake.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, those were her siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume. When you were telling two things. First, I think Fire is the only one that would say, "Wow, gross. I like it." Second, when you were telling the story and you were revealing the thing, I was like, first question when I find out, how old are you? And then you say 5 years. Oh, Muffin, I wanted to be the princess that we're bugging in the other campaign.
No. She is, I think I finally worked it out to be 35 total years old.
Yeah, so she's still a very young dragon.
She's a baby.
With a broken wing, can't fly.
You're
This
not
is
without some
why.
help anyway.
Yeah.
This is why Rizwin and Zoe have a codependency on each other.
What's going to happen when that codependency shatters? Because the truth is revealed.
Why do they have codependency?
Because they're both air quotes freaks.
They're
Oh.
also both like the same age.
Also, I would think Zoe is like also a dragon.
Zoe is not a dragon.
Surprise!
Wait, so it's also 35?
No, so he's like 17.
They're both just very young.
They're both, yeah.
Their races.
In relative terms, Rizwan is actually the younger of the two.
We haven't really solidly defined how long dragons can live, but they can live to be at least 1,000 years old, which means in terms of human lifespan, Rizwan's like 3.
I would point out that they do set maturity ages differently for depending on race.
Yeah, maturity, sure, but
Dragons grow real fast. Now we get to find out how the other 3 characters react when we finally tell them.
And this is, I guess, basically all down to watching a Matt Colville video. Because, I mean, you know me and dragons, but I never would have dreamed of asking a DM to actually play a dragon until I watched that video.
Yeah, so funny story. I had conceived of the character of Estrella back when the campaign first started, like before Nibble said he wanted to play dragon. And then when he said that, I was like, God damn it, that was gonna be my sweet idea.
You got there first.
It worked out so well.
Sort of.
Like, I think it gave Rizwan the impetus to come clean, as it were.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
So, like, mechanically, you cannot just, like, fight as a dragon, or can you?
It's undefined, although if we go with what I have written down, it is still more advantageous for me to fight in human form.
Yeah. I think probably even now Rizwan's mechanically stronger as a human than as a dragon.
Lore-wise, think of it this way. From what we know, Rizwan has been a humanoid more than a dragon. Correct?
Hmm?
So
she was a dragon for like the first 6 months of her life, and then for like a sum total of less than a half hour since then.
Yeah, so they kind of just don't know their own body. Right?
Fair dinkum.
Like the first time she changed back was when she showed Zoe, right?
Yeah.
When did she show Zoe?
At the mansion.
Yep.
What mansion?
In Alcalara.
Oh.
The one we found that Pert did the
Surgery.
Yeah, the surgery.
But to answer that question, I don't know that it's that. Maybe not physically uncomfortable. She's more emotionally uncomfortable as a dragon.